saying that we're streaming. Okay, I think we're live. Okay, hello everyone, or anyone who might be watching this right now. I have no idea. So today's stream's gonna be a little bit different. Rather than, like, last time we did an art stream where I just kind of doodled whatever and was like, hey, you know, if you want to shoot me some cash, maybe I'll draw something for you. This time we're actually, sort of drawing something specific where, excuse me, pardon me, we're, doing some comic pages, or at the very least we're getting a comic page or two started. I don't know how long this is going to run for, and I don't know if we're going to even be able to finish a single page because I am very slow at art. Also, well, actually, it's not so bad on here, but when I was, like, on literally everything else, my tablet controls were, like, super sensitive because I have two screens set up right now. Anyway, so today we're going to be working on a comic page for, like, the first page for my webcomic project I've been working on for a long time. It's called BADVIBE. And I won't... yeah, sorry, apparently I can't talk today. So you guys are going to get to see how I make comic pages, I guess. So there's not too much else to say about that. Let's just get started. I have the script pulled up. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to I have vibrations on my phone for some reason. Is I'm gonna start with some just thumbnails and figure out some like good layouts for the page. This is not going to be the most exciting stream, I freely admit, but, you know, it's something I wanted to stream, it's something I wanted to do, so why not, right? Just wondering if there's, like, any audio. Yeah, there is, okay. I also have the page up, so, yeah. Who's in chat right now? We've got a few people in chat. How y'all doing, chat? Quite alright. Hello, what I wish. You doing alright? Well, alright's better than bad, you know? So what we're doing right now is I'm going to remove the adjust angle. So basically, I'm going to be making a few of these and figuring out the best kind of layout I want to do for these pages first. These are going to be really rough, really, just really rough. These are our thumbnails. So we're just kind of figuring out page layout and whatnot. Jeez. Yeah, today is I cannot talk today. So chat, what did everyone get up to today? I've basically just been preparing for the stream and I did a little bit of commission work. But how about y'all? Great Mokestick. Serious art stream. Let's go. I guess it's kind of a serious art stream. I mean, it's about as serious as my content tends to be, which is to say not very at all. But, you know, we're trying. Trying not to melt all day. Is it hot? It's been hot for us the past few days, but today was surprisingly not that hot because it rained so much. It was humid, I think, in parts of the house. Not mine, but... Here, so let's, I'm just gonna... 38 Celsius. Oh my goodness. Wow, yeah, that is hot. Where do you live? If you don't mind my asking. You know what, never mind. If you don't feel like answering that, don't. In the Western U.S. Okay, that explains a lot, actually. So yeah, what you're seeing right now is, I think I've already said this, but I'm just thumbnailing out some ideas, and once I feel like I've got a good page layout, I'm gonna start, like, kind of putting down the panels, and we're gonna figure, and then doing a more proper sketch from there. I don't know how long today's episode's gonna run. I say episode. Today's... Oh, hi, Sai! Everyone say hi to Sai. Sai's a friend of mine. They gave a little happy face. But yeah, so if you're wondering why the art is like really rough looking right now, it's because we're just doing thumbnails. If you're not familiar with like the concept of a thumbnail, it is literally just you just do a bunch of really rough drawings and then you figure out how you want something to be laid out. And actually, yeah, the sensitivity on this is really weird. It's kind of like everything is pushing off to the side because I've got two screens on. I'm not really sure how to fix that. Anyway, in the chat, just out of curiosity, for the people who follow my art, how many of you are familiar, well, anyone who feels like speaking up, how many of you are familiar with BADVIBE? Like this thing I've been working on for like almost a decade. Actually, about a decade, I think. Sort of. So I said yes. Alright, what I wish. How much of it are you familiar with? Like, what do you know of it? And if the answer is just, it's that thing you draw sometimes, that's perfectly fine. Bits and pieces. That's pretty much it. Okay, yeah. So just to give a bit of, which is unfortunate because I do try, and whenever I do like a piece of it, I usually have like a little blurb. Somewhat. Saw a bit of the end of the first attempt and most of the second attempt. Yeah. So as Milksteak said, this is something I've been. You know, I'm gonna move this up a little. As Milksteak, I can't talk today. Said this is. There's been a. It doesn't matter if I ruin this a little bit, but okay. There's been a couple of attempts at this. The longest one that I did was when I was still in high school. And that one ran for, I think, 20 or 30 pages before I stopped working on it because I didn't really like it anymore. I didn't like the way that it looked. I didn't like the characterization. I didn't really even really fond of the way I was going about the idea because it was so entrenched in, I guess, my high school identity. It's really weird drawing with the second screen, but I want to be able to talk to you guys, so I'll adjust. So if everything looks a little bit slanted, that's probably why. Sorry. Here, let me you see, this is what I mean by I'm really slow at drawing. Like, this is just a thumbnail. It's taken me quite a while, actually. I don't know why. I've always been, like, really slow at drawing. And that's actually part of why this comic, like, it takes so long. This actually, what's funny is I actually had this first page, the first couple of pages drawn, but I feel like I've improved enough as to where I'm not really satisfied with how they look or how they're laid out anymore. So I want to try and see if I can fix them a little. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, here, let me just finish this one up, and then we'll move on to the next one. Because I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't really like this one very much. Let's just. Yeah, it's really annoying to control with the second screen. But yeah, I've been sort of advertising this idea for a while. Whenever I would post art of it or whatever, I would always put like a little blurb at like the bottom saying what it is. So whenever you see like a BADVIBE piece, there's usually like something there that'll like explain what it's about. And what it's about has changed quite a bit from version to version, but the current kind of iteration is like this sort of cyberpunk story. Excuse me, about the main character Max and sort of his place in this very unusual kind of it's I would say it's unusual because like jeez, you see, it's hard for me to explain things off the cuff. If I had my written up thing, it'd be a lot easier. But basically, it's a science fiction story that deals cyberpunk, near future cyberpunk story that focuses on the main character Max and his relationship with other people, and more so his relationship with, like, or rather his own past, and how it's kind of coming back to haunt him in the form of the BADVIBE organization. That's why it's named that. And anyone who's familiar with the original iterations knows why that is and knows what that is. But for those of you who aren't, maybe I'll leave it a little bit of a surprise. I don't know why I'm even bothering, because most of you are going to know what this is. Interesting. I'm glad you feel that way, What I Wish, because I basically just explained it in the worst way possible. You know, I used to be really good at elevator pitches, but now I guarantee you, if somebody just asked me, hey, what's your pitch? I'd be like, well, you know what I am? You know the clip of, like, the little kid who's like, have you ever dreamed of something that I'm that kid. I'm that kid. I like, that's how I talk. I stutter over my own words all the time. I don't like this first one, honestly. I think that we're kind of headed in the right direction, but I think maybe let's keep experimenting. Same. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who stutters all the time. I'm sure it's not as obnoxious when you do it. I'll try and make this one faster, because, you know, we want to get to the interesting stuff, and let's be honest, this isn't the interesting stuff. This is thumbnailing things in. I'd stutter all the time doing tours. Oh, like at the sanctuary? Let's not even, like, worry about, like, facial detail and whatever. That's what I'm getting caught up on, is I need to make sure I'm conveying the... I'm gonna know what the emotion is. It's not like I'm drunk. Especially when I'm trying to remember stuff. Yes, that's a big thing. That's why I stutter a lot of the time when I'm trying to remember. Because for BADVIBE, I have this written up thing that I put at the end of posts that involve it, right? And I was trying to remember the best way to phrase it while still staying, like, you know, not like I'm just reciting, this story is about such and such, you know? But it's hard. It's hard to remember stuff like that. I actually used to do canvassing work, like door-to-door canvassing, and we had a specific phrase that we had to, like, a specific catchphrase, I guess you could say, that I had to remember to do, and I was terrible at it. And that was a big part of why I kind of lost my job there, I think. Well, that, and, you know, they were asking us to canvass in places where there was no one there to canvass to. So, you know, that's great, thanks. Thank you, Nutrifarms. Thank you. How many folks are watching right now? Well, it doesn't say. It says the total views, but not the overall views. That's all right. I think you're all people who've watched my stream before on right now. I mean, I could check. Let me I think one of you is new, actually, and to that new person, hello, how are you? I haven't. Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, I thought you came in, like, for 2 seconds in the last stream. Am I misremembering, Sai? Am I misremembering? I think I'm misremembering. Well, either way, welcome, Sai. These are it's basically just this. I'll do something and then ramble and talk about nothing. I've only done about 3 of these, so I haven't yet found a way to be entertaining, I guess you could say. Maybe, or I got lost again. You know what, if you were there, I probably would have said hi. I don't remember saying hi. If any of you were there during the previous stream, and if any of you do remember, please let me know, because that's going to bother me, and I don't feel like having to look through my old stream footage, because it's there for people who want to see it, but frankly, I don't like looking back at my old stream footage because I feel like I ramble like an idiot. Actually, you know what? I don't think I need like different panels for this. I think that this will sort of be. I watched the VOD and I don't remember you mentioning. Okay, then yeah, this is probably your first time, Sai. I honestly don't remember. I feel bad because like this is the third stream in a row where like a friend has come on or whatever. I'm like, oh, how do I do this with them? Or what's something like I forgot something about them, and that's super embarrassing. I think this says a lot about what kind of person I am. I just don't remember things about anything. And please, I want that to be the... Man, that's just memory. I want that to be my quote on my headstone, by the way. Don't be so down on yourself, just be confident about what you're talking about and still be fine. Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate the sentiment. I'm just naturally socially awkward. And actually, I hope that these streams will help with that a bit, making me a bit more comfortable with talking out. Because I do these streams for a few reasons. Obviously, I like to promote my art. It's to promote my art, to promote my YouTube, to promote my project like I'm doing now. As a motivator, because I find, like, at the very least, if people are watching me, it'll help to get work done. And also to just help myself, you know? Like, again, I want to try and be a bit more confident with how I talk and whatnot. I do like the idea of the eye shot here, so I think I'm going to keep that. Your speaking voice is good. Oh, thank you, Sai. I appreciate that a lot, because I really don't like my voice. I feel like my voice is really buzzy and annoying, but I've been told a lot that I have a nice voice, so yeah, I kind of like this. How are we feeling about this one? You think we should go for another take? I'm thinking we should go for, like, another take, but, like, something similar to this. To this, thing here. Oh, and the other reason I do streams is because... Nah, go with it. I might maybe go with, like, another pass on this layout and see if there's anything that needs tightening up. And then from there, we can start getting into the... It's even not the most interesting because we're not getting to the super fleshed out art quite yet. Here, let me just... I will say the construction of this page is going to be a little bit weird. Do another take just to be sure. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just realized this is on the same... Oh, well. How long have you been streaming for? Oh my gosh. Adjust where necessary, but don't dwell too much on it. Well, that's always, like, the hardest thing, is I'm often told when I'm making something, it's like, just do the minimum viable product, and it should be fine. But I never do. I always kind of overwork myself, I think. And I always get, like, I don't want to say, like, I'm a perfectionist, because, like, I'm not. Like, if anyone see me do things, I'm not. But, like, when it comes to doing, especially something like this that I care a lot about, I always get nervous that it's not coming out right, that I'm not communicating my idea well enough, is kind of the problem. Yeah, you see, already, just some small changes I think is making it better. Like, making the eyes bigger. I'm sort of taking ideas from both. And I feel like it's kind of coming a lot better. That's how thumbnailing works. That's how it is. It's excuse me. That's how thumbnailing is. You're usually doing better than you think. Well, that is true. I think that's true of everyone. We're both unreliable. We're unreliable critics because we're both our biggest fans and our biggest enemies. Is the thing. It's why I don't necessarily think it's that, like, it's a good idea to only look at your own work in a vacuum. It's important to get feedback when necessary. And it's not always fun, and even I'll admit I don't always take it as well as I can. I always get kind of depressed where I'm like, oh man, but I put so much hard. I'm my biggest hater and my biggest enemy. Don't put yourself down like that, or I'll come and find you and I'll shower you with love and affection so you'll feel better about yourself, Sai. Awkward silence. It's what the booze and weed is for. Wait, what's it for? I don't understand. What? What? I don't think I follow. Yeah, things got really quiet all of a sudden. Sorry. So, what else is interesting? Not much, honestly. You know what, actually, since we're working on webcomics, just people in the audience, just shoot off, quick. Favorite webcomics, go. And while we're doing that, I think I like this pass for the thumbnails. Yeah, I think I'm good with this one. It's not, like, super defined. Two Kinds, that's a good one. Awkward Zombie, that's a really good one. I really like both of those, actually. Lackadaisy, also really good. Damn, these are some good choices, folks. Oh, this last one was, wait, where was this one attached? Wait, what is... Huh, it was attached to another layer that I made called Layout Ref. Okay. Okay, so now keeping this piece in mind, I'm just going to move it to the side for now. Just somewhere where I am going to blow it up a little, just so I can kind of reference it and kind of remember where it is to go. But because this page is a little bit more loosey-goosey, I think normally what I would do is I would take the thumbnail of my choice, and then I would kind of, this can go away. I would take the thumbnail of my choice and kind of like expand it across the whole page. But because this one doesn't have as much traditional, I guess you could say, panels going on, I'm just going to have it on the side and kind of go do this by the seat of my pants, as it were. Not normally recommended. But yeah, both good choices for webcomics. How did you get into them, if you don't mind my asking? I don't have a good place to put this ref right now. Like, how did you get into your given webcomics? Was it just, you just kind of found them one day? Were you recommended by friends? Katie makes dank meme. Well, I mean, the comic is in and of itself kind of a dank meme, so, like, you know. I think I found it through you, actually. Is that right? Or was it, like, a piece of art I posted, or... Okay, that makes sense. Was it the one of Keith in his underwear? Because for reasons I'm not entirely sure of that, probably. Because for reasons I've not just found Lackadaisy one day. Also, does the what? I don't know what that, if flock the beat count as a weapon. I don't know what that is, so I couldn't tell you. Okay, so while if Great Milksteak, if you want, you can explain what that is. I'm gonna do something that's kind of neat that Clip Studio Paint can do, if I can find what I'm looking for. 3D. You can import super basic 3D models, right? And you can pose them as you need to, kind of like a dummy. I actually, this anatomy here is it needs a bit of tweaking, but it's specifically made so I can pose Max. But yeah, it's pretty nifty. You can move it around, and you get a few different settings. It might be a little bit laggy because of, I wonder if I could just, like, resize him. I don't think it's the right layer type. Nope, I'm gonna have to do it manually. But yeah, you can, and as you can see, you can turn it around, you can shift around the camera. Ooh, nice blank yeah, it's basically what it is it's a blank Figma in a way, or like one of those art dummies where you can pose them. And what's even cooler is that if you do this, that's not, here we go, you can actually change their proportions. German artists do post relatable drawings that protect. Oh, is it the bee that gets like the nose when she goes like, oh no, or something, or like is that the I am ready for the ball? Are you ready for the ball Cinderella comic? Is that what that is? Because yes, that totally counts as a webcomic. Yeah, no, that totally counts, and I love it. Oh no, he's tiny! That's not what I meant to do! But yeah, you can rotate him around, you can fix them up, you can pose them however you want. I don't know how much I'm going to be using them in this. This will be fine for now. I don't know how much I'm going to be using it for this page, but I did just kind of want to do it here so you can get kind of an idea of how it works. But yes, Milksteak, that totally counts as a webcomic, and that's a good choice. I love that. I love those. Oh, hey everyone, say hi to Blitz. Say hi to Blitzio. Hi, sweetheart. Blitzio's my boyfriend. Everyone say hi to him. Hello. Oh, shit. Pardon the language. And that is my one slightly more colorful 4-letter word allotted for the day, because it seems like I do this every time I stream. I always tell myself, I'm not gonna swear, I'm not gonna swear. And then I drop something like that. It's happened all 3 times now. It's just gonna be a thing. It is my single allotted colorful 4-letter word for the stream. So, looking at this pose, he's kind of tilted to the side. I'm not as worried about the legs here because, like, here, let me just rotate him here. Admittedly, I will say that this oh my god, stop it! This the fridge? There we go. Okay, that's what was happening. But this this feature, I only just started making use of it properly. So, like, yeah, it's pretty nifty to use. It's really helpful when you can't find like a pose on Google, because obviously the best thing when it comes to like posing or whatever is it's going onto like Google or like Pinterest or whatever and looking up. It is like look at that, he's doing Michael Jackson. Look, he's doing the Michael Jackson thing. Look, see? Look at the absolute power. Look at the absolute power of this. He's so great at Michael Jacksoning. You can just do whatever this is. I should mention that I could see my CPU usage in the corner of OBS. And it keeps jumping up whenever I start flipping it about. I don't know how well optimized these models are. Okay, so here's a question. Do you guys want to see me keep playing with this model, or would you rather I just kind of go off the cuff? Because this might take a bit. And with, like, normally this is a lot easier, but I did say earlier that, I was having a bit of difficulty because of the two screens, making my tablet a lot more sensitive. So, just as a question, would you guys prefer me to just get into the sketching, or are you okay with me doing this? Keep playing with the model if you think it would help. I do think it could help, is the thing. I do think it could look a lot nicer, at least anatomically, if I do this. Because I prefer to use references when I'm drawing. I don't normally like to just go off the cuff and just... Unless I'm just doing an extremely rough doodle. Which I recognize sounds a little bit, weird if you were here during the last art stream, where that's all I did is I basically just did art off the cuff. But those were literally meant to be just rough doodles and whatever. They weren't. It is good practice to do without yes, but there's also nothing. The thing is that the human mind plays tricks. Just because you think you know what something looks like, it doesn't mean you're going to be able to put that to paper. And it is better to have that as reference so you can keep looking back and figuring things out. I find a lot of the time people choose not to use refs because they think it makes them like because they'll be like, oh, well, I'll be better if I don't use a ref. No. No one's... Yes, but... refs can do the same. Not really, because if anything, art is just... What you're doing with art is you're just... You're everything in... Almost everything in art, unless you're doing something like a crazy, freaky-deaky interpretive painting, is basically based on observation. It's how we learn. And it's best to have something there to draw reference from rather than just jumping in full ham. Not that there's anything wrong with jumping in full ham. If you really do have that picture in your mind and you're more comfortable doing it that way, that's fine. But I find a lot of the time people just choose not to do refs out of some weird, like, hard mode obligation, and I don't get that. Or rather, I kind of... But if you obsess over copying too much, it could be... Yeah, well, at that point, it's all about making your judgment, is the thing. If you copy too much, your work is going to be too stiff, and even worse, you might just be ripping something off. But, like you might just be, like, just flat-out tracing, and then putting it up online and saying, oh, well, that's not quite the same thing. But if you just have, like, a picture to the side, and you do, like, a similar pose, you figure out, like, the posing and whatnot, I think that there's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, I would advise, especially when you're, like, not even just, I would advise artists to do that if you're doing a more complicated feat. If you're just crapping at a doodle, it's fine. And if you honestly do feel confident enough that you don't need refs, that's okay. But I'm just saying, in my own personal experiences, refs have been, references, images and whatnot, have been extremely helpful. And I find a lot of the time, whenever, like, this was very true in my classes, was that a lot of people would very obviously not use reference images, and you could always tell who did and who didn't. Now, I do know that there are people who can, like, remember, like, there's this one guy, I think he had, like, Asperger's or something, and he was able to, like, paint this absolutely gorgeous, this absolutely gorgeous, like, city, bird's eye view of, like, a city completely from memory. And that's amazing, but that's also incredibly rare. Most of us do not have that ability. I wish I did. That'd be amazing. Okay, I think we kind of got a general idea of how I want to put... Maybe I'll just do one more thing. Maybe I'll tilt the head more. So that's a little bit more dynamic. I think, no. Well, yeah, of course. Of course art requires a great... Like, obviously. And a huge part of practicing is taking reference images. Like, literally, something you learn to do in school is literally just gesture drawing. Is just taking a pose and figuring out, like, the really quick posing of it. It's actually something I still do for practice. And, say decades, art is something I think you should practice all your life. I don't think with something like any kind of art, whether it be visual, music, whatever, you should never grow complacent. You should always be trying to get better. If it's something like if it's something more than just like a hobby for you, if it is your passion, you know. Like, all of what I'm saying here is applying to like people like me who are trying to make a career out of this. If you're just, jeez, the sensitivity. If you're just trying to do art for funsies, do whatever you want. Go full ham. As long as you're not stealing like art from anyone, it's fine. I didn't actually think that having two screens would this massively impact the way that my tablet works, though. Jeez. So anyway, we're just gonna do like belt out a really quick kind of sketch based on this pose and the reference of Max here. And yeah, that's just where we're gonna go. And I'm gonna be doing the sketches first, then I'm gonna be going back and doing like the line art and coloring and whatnot. This page isn't too complicated, so I might actually, hopefully, I might be able to get at least most of it done by the end of today. But I'm also really slow at doing art. So like, and with the added kind of issue of the issues I'm having with my tablet right now, because you know. Maybe next time I do an art stream, I won't have the second screen. I'll just maybe like use like my phone or something. Cause yeah, this is a little bit annoying. So how we all doing? Oh, an amendment to my statement about gesture drawings. Part of it is learning to exaggerate the poses and whatnot. I feel like I'd get more of this if I was an artist. That's fair. There's gonna be a lot of like art talk during this little conversation. During this stream. So apologies if a lot of it, like for people watching who aren't really artists, if this kind of feels like it's falling on deaf ears. And Sigh, waiting for Duty Finder, Final Fantasy 14. Oh, Final Fantasy 14's been really busy as of late, so good luck. And Milk Steak, we had a lively discussion about referencing and its place in art. Also, I asked how everyone was doing. Again, because when I run out of things to talk about, I just ask how people are doing. I have to fix something that's bothering me super quick. Let's call them panels, even though they aren't really panels. And normally when you're constructing panels, hang on, I'll just show a thing here. Clip Studio Paint actually has dedicated panels. That is not one of the dedicated panels. Here we go. If you see, it has like dedicated panels that you could just make. But yeah, anyway, I just asked how everyone was doing, and we had a very interesting, exciting conversation about references and their place in art and whatnot. Actually, I gotta be honest, I've been getting more mileage out of just talking about art than I thought I was going to. Milksteak, well, when did you, like, leave? What was, like, the last thing you remember? I'm trying to learn to draw. Did some gesture drawing for a while, but the past few days I've been obsessed with drawing cubes. Drawing cubes is also good. You should be trying to do both, in a way, if you're trying to figure out, like, drawing cubes is a really good way to, like, figure out, like, dimensions. just drawing cubes. It's a good way to figure out dimensions. It's a great way to figure out drawing perspective, that sort of thing. And perspective and just depth are something I still have trouble with as an artist, because like you may have noticed this, but I have a very graphic style that focuses heavily on bold line work and color. So I unfortunately, yes, ellipses are also good. Ellipses are also good, but a fair bit more complicated, I would say. Ellipses are a fair bit more complicated. So starting with cubes, I think, is a good place to go, and then afterwards moving on to ellipses. Especially since ellipses are one of the things in art where it's like there's definitely, it's definitely one of the things where there's more hard and fast rules about how you do it. Then again, that's true of perspective in general, because if you do like, how do I practice ellipses? With ellipses, it's kind of like you do like a grid, and then you find a bunch of different like it's kind of a nightmare to just explain because I'm not a teacher, unfortunately. Basically, it's about you draw a line, you draw like a square, and then you draw lines to find the different points of the ellipse in the perspective. If that makes I am not making a lot of sense, am I? And that arm is super swole. Max, you are super swole. Anyway, I'm getting too caught up in the finer details of this rough sketch, so I'm just gonna power through it. This isn't a very clean sketch at all, but right now we're just kind of figuring out like the posing and the expression and whatnot. Honestly, thought I'd recommend starting with, yeah. Honestly, drawing from cubes is good, but get a feel for the intuitive aspects, supplement with knowledge as you go along. One swole, one arm, only swole on one arm, and then little sunglasses guy. I don't appreciate the implication there, mister. I don't like the implication. This is a PG rated stream, which is why I said SHIT earlier. Obviously. But, yes, the thing is what Sai and I are recommending, these are all things you should be doing anyway. You should be just doing life drawing, where you, like, see a thing and then you try and draw it. But you should also be practicing with cubes. You should be learning about perspective. These are all things you have to kind of learn at once. But on the other hand, start with what you're most comfortable with. Would be my biggest. Start with what you're comfortable with, and then get more into the stuff you're feeling less confident about, is, I think, a good place. It's why you said you've been obsessed with drawing cubes. Keep doing that if you've been feeling like you've been comfortable enough in that, and get better at it. Because something that I find a lot of I lost my point. I forgot what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. Point is, it's important that if you're learning to draw, it's important to always make sure that you are in your own comfort zone, in a way, and only push outside of that comfort zone when you feel like you're ready to. Because if you try and go too fast, you're gonna mess it up, and you're gonna be discouraged. At least I find that's true for like a lot of people. Sometimes actually pushing out of the comfort zone before you normally would is actually a big motivator for people. I'm a bit of column A, column B. I think it depends on where I am at that time. And be patient with yourself. That is the most important part. Thanks for the advice. I'm obsessed with cues because I feel like I can never get them right. That's fair. Costin Fox's direct. Okay, listen here, you. I'm just trying to have a stream. I was not coming here. I came here to have a good time, and I honestly feel like I'm being attacked. I feel so attacked right now. Believe me, I know this is a long-term project. I'm in no hurry. Yes, good. This is being good at art is not a race. It is not a race. That's the thing I always have to remind myself. Is art is not a race. You know, it's not always about like, because I know plenty of my artist friends are just objectively better than I am. And it is often a case where it's like, I have to remind myself that it's okay. I have to remind myself that it's okay. You know, but it is okay. It is okay that they're better than me, because I learn at my own pace, and there are things that I'm confident that I'm good at, you know? But as for the, not necessarily better, just, no, like, I do feel like objectively there are people out there who are better than me. Like, objectively. Now, subjectively, that's something you can argue to blue in the face. But objectively, when it comes to the rules of art and what we're doing, I know that they are better than me objectively. And I'm okay with that. But it is also a case where, yeah, well, yeah, technically, that's what I mean. On a technical level, objectively, they are, like, on a technical level, what they're doing technically, with perspective and whatnot, they are better than I am. But there's always going to be someone better than you, and that's something you just kind of have to accept. I'm not saying that to put myself down. It's just, like, I'm not here like, oh, my art's the worst, because it's not. I'm plenty good. I feel like I'm a good artist. I mean, obviously there's room for improvement, but there's always room for improvement. You are better technically than you think. And, well, yeah, like, I'm aware of that. People tend to be better than they think they are. But, fire truck, I've lost my train of thought. Enough about me. Let's get back to Milksteak, because Milksteak had asked, or had brought up, that you feel like you can never get the cubes right. Have you been drawing, like, in perspective, or have you just been square, line, line, square? Like how they would, like, show you in, like, the old art shows and whatnot. Because drawing in perspective, that is going to help a ton. Even if it might be kind of daunting at first. I moved Max in the way of the thing. Here, where is the layout ref? Just, like, stick it here. That's a good place to stick it. Yeah, he's comparatively small. Because when you're drawing in perspective, and not only, obviously, it's... I can't talk today. I can't... Again, it's because I'm trying to teach, and I'm no teacher. Like, I've got the ideas, it's just getting them out there. It's actually funny, there was a time when I wanted to be a teacher, but that was, like, I was really young. I was really young when I wanted to be a teacher. Like, I think I was, like, 10 when I was, like... Oh. Hey, Shirley, how do you do? Everyone say hi to Shirley. Not doing square line square. I start with the most vertical center line and use it as a frame for the rest of the square. Okay. I'm not sure how you mean. Like, I'm not sure, like, the most, like, do you mean, like, you find the center of the square and then draw a vertical line and then base the perspective on that? Neither do I. Okay. So what I want you to do, or what you could do, is I would recommend looking up how to like draw a horizon line. Basically, if you'll just indulge me for a second, basically a horizon line, in the most sloppy way I can do it, is I hear noises. I think my boyfriend left the other room. You may hear my dog starting to get upset because I think my boyfriend, other boyfriend, may have left his room on the other side. Yes, folks, polyamory, that's a thing. Yeah, you can hear my doggo getting a little bit upset. What was it? I was trying to explain what a horizon line was. Okay, so basically, this line here, this incredibly rough, terrible, not straight at all line, which, by the way, it should always be straight, is our horizon line. The horizon line is exactly what it says. This is basically, it's kind of where the sun sets, I guess you could say. And then from there, you find a vanishing point. We'll say the vanishing point is here. Is this about how the lines of a square are supposed to converge on the horizon? Something like, yeah, more or less, yeah. You see, because you basically, there's a horizon line and then you make the vanishing point. And then from there, if this is extremely sloppy, this is not going to be in perspective at all, but this should give you the gist. Basically, you can, and from there, you just have to find a way to connect the square with the vanishing point. You can do this in any way that makes you feel most comfortable, I guess. I'm doing a terrible job of displaying this because I'm doing this off the cuff, and normally when I would be doing something like this, I'd have a ruler or some kind of guide, but it's this sort of thing. And then if you want to make like a fully construct it, you would draw even more lines, and I'm getting incredibly distracted, but you get the gist. It's something like this. It's the horizon line, the vanishing point, that sort of thing. That's how you would normally find perspective. Once you get good enough at it, you can eyeball it and kind of cheese it. I find it's generally easier. A lot of people find it harder on characters. I find perspective easier on characters, frankly, than with objects. But that's also just me. Anyway, let's get back to this, because yeah, I got way off tangent. Moreover, if there is anyone here who is more familiar with, I'm sure the way I explained, I didn't expect to hijack the stream and turn it into an art tutorial. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to ramble on like that. I just let's use the model. Where is it? I didn't mean to ramble on like that. I'm sorry. What's actually funny is I said earlier, it's like, oh, I'm not much of a teacher. There was actually a while I was tutoring one of my friends in art, and I kind of missed that because it was a lot of fun. Maybe I should charge people and be like, hey, if you donate to my coffee, if you donate enough money to my coffee, I'll give you some art tutorial. No, I don't think I'd be nearly good enough at teaching for that, frankly. But you know, it might be fun. Maybe I'll do it someday when I'm a little bit more confident in my public speaking. Zoop. Where is the thing? There it is. Jeez. You're good. Rambling is part of the fun of stream. I suppose. I feel bad because I feel like a lot of the time I go like completely quiet, and then there's just nothing going on, and I don't have like any music. I need like some music for my streams. I need to like pay someone to like compose some music for these streams because I don't know what Twitch is gonna allow. You know. I don't know if playing the first note of Megalovania is gonna get us in trouble or something. Like, I actually, if I'm being completely truthful, I don't watch a lot of streams as they happen. So, like, is playing music in streams, like, normal? I've only recently started, like, watching streams and whatnot, so... Let's add a bit of, like, perspective. Let's make this more dynamic. I know Pictoro is more lax with music. Well, from what I understand, it's Pictoro, then Twitch, then YouTube. Well, YouTube's always, like, for years and years, well over a decade, has been so terrible about its screening with music and whatnot. Not because you can get away with anything, it's because you can get away with nothing. You could. I joked about playing, like, a second of Megalovania, but you could, like, play, like, a second of, like, blank space, and then your stream would get muted or taken down. And that's how it is with YouTube. Like, because I have a YouTube video, like one of my YouTube videos, it uses, what's the name of that song? Is it Careless Whisper? Okay, I used some romance song in my Animal Crossing video. I used, like, 5 seconds of it in 2 scenes, and the video has been demonetized. Not that it matters, because I'm not, like, a member or anything. I'm not making money off that video, but I find that so absurd. It's 5 seconds of a song. Like, I know people want to protect their copyrights and whatnot, but I feel like it's a little... I don't think it's gonna matter much if the furry YouTuber uses your music for... What the heck's happening? I don't know if, like, it's gonna matter much if the furry YouTuber is using... there we go. Is using your music. I've only really seen a few other art streams, not a lot of them on Twitch. Not really familiar with Twitch's copyright policy. I would have to look it up, frankly, because, like, if I can, like, put on, like, some music in the background of, like, Super Smash Brothers or, like, Sonic the Hedgehog or something to liven things up, I would. Just so at the very least when I do go deathly quiet, which I do a lot, things are at least a little bit more exciting. How about, like, in game streams? Because I know some people, like, play music when they, like, do, like, games and whatnot. I mean, I wouldn't. I would just let the game audio play itself, but, like, I don't know why I'm bothering with the feet so much. You're not even going to see them. But yeah, I've only really recently gotten into watching streams. You could try to find royalty-free... I was thinking that, but on the other hand, I'm not sure how many of you want to listen to Kevin MacLeod music on loop for, like, an hour. Like, I gotta be honest, I'm already kind of getting sick of it. You don't watch game streams. That's fair. I only watch a few. I've been... it's actually unfortunate. Adler the Eagle's Super Mario Galaxy stream is going on at the same time as this. Agreed in what? Like, you'd be sick and tired of the Kevin MacLeod music? Yes. Yeah, and I should be more specific, because Kevin MacLeod is like 1,000 or so songs just on YouTube alone. I know, I'm pretty sure there's more on his website. And for me, it's a specific set of songs that I'm kind of sick of. And not even because, like, oh, I hear them all the time in YouTube or whatever, but because, you know what, I'm not doing this right. YouTube or whatever, is because I have to hear them while I'm editing my videos, because I mostly use royalty-free music in my video. Every now and again, I'll pepper, like, a song from, like, Sonic or, like, Animal Crossing. But for the most part, I use royalty-free music from Kevin MacLeod or Purple Planet or something, and I gotta tell ya, I'm kind of sick to death of Cypher. That is the track I use for my end card on my YouTube videos. And I'm kind of already sick of it. I was actually thinking of getting someone to compose, like, an original song for my end card, and possibly even for, like, an intro, because I was thinking of, like, doing a little intro for, like, an animation, like, a little intro animation. Nothing complicated, just something simple, something cute. I don't know. Would you guys be down to watching that sometime? Like, maybe, like, me animating, like, an intro or something? Maybe that's something we could do for, like, the next art stream. Or we could do more of this or something. I don't know. How did I get into talking about plans for next week's stream? Oh, by the way, what you're seeing me do right now is this is not the best way to go about doing perspective. I mean, the can thing that I'm doing, that's fine. It's more so I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably draw the lines on the inside. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not all that great at perspective, and I tend to forget rules about perspective and things like that. So, you know, we're all learning. I'm more of a kind of character design shape language kind of guy, you know? Or, not shape, like color language. And it happened again. I was literally just joking about how it's like, how do we get from that to that? And then I jumped to another topic. That's just the kind of guy I am. And because it's been a while, the update on how is everyone doing? That's the fun. Yeah, I suppose. Is that rambling kind of like an idiot is kind of half the fun of it. Just hearing whatever the streamer has to say. You know, it's actually, it's even hard to get the perspective ready because, like, it's because of the second screen. I know that it is because I tested it. And with the second screen, it's making, like, all of my, like, lines kind of push off to the side, and it's making everything kind of slanted. So I have to do a lot of like course correction, which is unfortunate. Is that like normal with like is that like normal with like device? Because I didn't feel it on the mouse when I was playing The Sims 4, but I could definitely feel it on the tablet. The expression's kind of dull surprise, but that's okay. We're just on the base sketch. I'll tighten it up after. It's something I need to remind myself. God, Fox, it's just the base sketch. It's okay. It doesn't need to look amazing. You don't have to finalize all the details yet. See, this is why I should get some music for the stream, because I'm going completely silent. How long have we been at this for? Only an hour or two. Maybe we'll go on for like another hour. We'll see. How's that feel for everyone? Like, another hour sound good? Oh, and no, never mind. I don't know if the mic picked that up, but I said the other one. I said the other word. I dropped the bomb. Ah! I'm so bad at curbing my tongue when there's no script. Sometimes sounds is okay. Also, another hour is fine. Okay. Well, the thing is that I don't know how many people are like watching the stream and how many people are just listening. So if they are just listening, I want to be cautious to people who are just listening. And you know, I don't want to be like, well, tough toenails for you. You got to deal with awkward silence while you could hear my a fan in the background. Just do as much as you're comfortable with. Stop finagling over all the details, Fox. God. Okay, so here's a question. Just so I can know how to hopefully better kind of advertise my stuff. How did you guys find out about this stream? Like, I know how Sai found out about this stream. I told them. I told Sai I was doing a stream. Twitter makes sense. Twitter. Yeah. Yeah, that does make sense. Twitter is kind of my main hub for content, like other than YouTube. Twitter and YouTube, I'd say. I mean, I also upload to like DeviantArt and FA and whatever. But like my main hub for content is YouTube and Twitter. It's actually funny that I'm trying to like cover my language up in these streams because, well, I it's getting uploaded to the to the YouTube tomorrow anyway. So I mean, whatever. But like if you look at my Twitter, I cuss all the time on Twitter. And I make dirty jokes all the time on Twitter. It kind of makes me laugh because I think YouTube's like standards with that sort of thing. Like I gotta be honest, if YouTube wasn't so sensitive about like cursing like that, I would probably curse more in my videos. Because I curse a lot in real life. Is the thing. He is looking oddly swole. That seems to be a recurring theme with my art lately, is I accidentally keep making characters who are swole. So I'll clean that up when we've I'll clean this up more properly when we've when we're moving on. That might be the first one that I want to fix up because I really don't like how it looks. He looks squished. Is the problem. He looks really squished. I definitely messed up the perspective on this shot, but whatever, we'll figure it out. What was I saying? Right, if PewDiePie can say the gamer word, you can swear. You gotta learn to swear in a different language. I used to know how to swear in French. I don't know. I forgot. The gamer word? Is that what I think it is? Is that something we shouldn't be saying? I'm assuming it's something we shouldn't be saying. And PewDiePie can get away with it because PewDiePie is a much bigger YouTuber than I am. You see, the thing about YouTube is that they're very unbalanced with how they handle this sort of thing. If you're one of like the big money makers, you can get away with doing almost anything, just short of murder. But if you're like a much smaller time YouTuber like me, or even someone who is relatively larger, but doesn't quite compare to like the big money makers. Oh no, I'm not gonna say it. I would never. No. Like I cuss a lot. I would never. No, I don't. Not here. No. Just no. I would not. No. Like it is like, never acceptable. I didn't even like. Does he? Like I thought that would like I don't watch PewDiePie's content. I have no idea. I always thought that was like hyperbole because people don't like him. Then again, I mean like it makes sense. People must not like him for a reason, right? It's actually funny. For words like that, I have them locked in the chat, right? So that if you post them, you get I think it's you get blocked from posting for 30 seconds or you get removed. It's one of the two. I need to check again. But that shows up on OBS. And I thought that I was entering the words into the chat to say, "Hey, please don't say those words." On my first stream, and I got so scared. They weren't visible, but I didn't know that. Because I was like, oh no, those are bad words. Once during a PUBG stream, it was a big news story. Why? That's my question. Why? Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that, and everyone was getting like really upset about it because he was like, I'm sorry, sometimes things just slip out. Things just slip out. I mean, yeah, but like not like that, man. You might want to You might want to consider why those words are slipping out. That was weird. Wait, what's happening? What's happening? Okay, there we go. That was really weird. The second screen's making my tablet act all sorts of crazy. But there are just some things that you shouldn't say, and it should be kind of obvious that you shouldn't say them. Hi, Haru! Haru is also a friend of mine. Everyone say hi. Haru, aren't you supposed to be focusing on Final Fantasy right now? Yeah, he's a ghost! Are you though? You're watching my stream and you were quick enough to comment? Oh, is that Mr. Man? I'm just being an ass. Okay, so I think we've got the basic sketch down. So from here, we're gonna start with this one because this is the one I want to fix the most. Although I might move. Hang on, I'm gonna move some of these around and maybe resize this panel because it's a little bit too big, I think. I also need to clean up a bit more to create a visual, like, kind of like thing that's like, oh well, then there's something that points over here. Oh, what did I say? You know what? It doesn't matter. This is just the stream where Fox swore a lot. I like how we were literally just talking about that in YouTube, and I was just going on the channel, and I'm just, oh well, ass isn't that bad. Ass is fine. The thing is that it's not all swearing that I try, because like if you watch my videos, I'll Haro, if you could refrain, please. Hi Void. Void's also a friend, but Haro, if you could refrain from the I like how I'm trying to tiptoe. We all saw it. We all know what you said. We all know the betrayal. It's okay, man. Yeah, I should really post like rules or something in the chat. But yeah, no, don't worry about it. You didn't know. It's all good. Twitch is a bit twitchy about the I see what you did there. But how do you mean? Tax event. Sir, this is a Christian server, and I will not have that kind of language on it. Wesley, am I Wesley Snipes? Or do you mean the great wow, I'm dumb. I am not the very intelligent. But yeah, are you Wesley Snipes? Where did I put that model, that 3D model? I want to keep using it as like a reference. Because like, I didn't do very great here, but that's okay. That's fine. That's what sketch passes are for. But yeah, I think I was talking about ass. Yeah, ass isn't really all that bad. Like, if you watch, like, my YouTube videos and whatnot, I still swear. I'll say, like, damn, or hell, or ass, or crap. But, like, the more colorful four-letter words, I generally try to stray from. Mostly because of how YouTube is. No one on the internet knows if you're Wesley Snipes. No, but I think Wesley Snipes would know. I think Wesley Snipes would know if he was Wesley Snipes or not. Although, actually, here's a question. If you're talking, do you mean nobody as in no one, or do you mean nobody as in, like, Kingdom Hearts nobodies? Because if that's the case, I gotta tell you, the idea that Xehanort would know whether or not somebody is Wesley Snipes is probably one of his less talked about powers. Or Xemnas, rather. I like how Kingdom Hearts lore is so confusing that even someone who's like a big super fan is able to make a dumb mistake like that. I don't play Kingdom Hearts. Okay, I say this as someone who unironically adores this franchise. That's okay. And Xemnas the Wise. Haru, Xehanort is, the original name. Xehanort's his original name. Ansem was the name that he stole when he stole Terra's body. And Xemnas is the name of his nobody. And Shirley, to answer your question, we're working on BADVIBE right now, actually. We're starting from scratch. We're starting over. We're starting with the first page. Because this is like the 5th time I've restarted these pages. And I'm starting to worry I'm becoming like the yandere dev of comics, just with less banning. Also, Heartless Ansem, who isn't Ansem's Heartless. Yeah, no, he's not. But really, we are always... You know, I know you're not Xehanort because you spelt it with a Z. It's Xehanort with an X. Thank you. Also, I think there's an H in there somewhere. I don't remember. And also, we don't have the, Xehanort. We also don't have the, Spider-Man 2, PS2 pizza music blaring in the background, so we know that this isn't just a pancake video. Dang it. Love JRPGs, but have no desire to play Kingdom Hearts because of all the memes about how nonsensical. Okay. That's fair, but I would say don't let other people's just memeing about something completely color how you're going to feel about it. Because if that were the case, if that were true, then, like, half the games that exist would be bad, would be crap. Especially, Kingdom Hearts' plot doesn't make a lot of sense. More so, like, the later game. I'd say starting around, like, Birth by Sleep was when things really started to hit the fan. Like, it was a little bit confusing after 1 and, like, Chain of Memories and whatnot, but I gotta tell you, man, Birth by Sleep, that's when stuff really started to hit the fan. You know what? I actually don't find Chain of Memories that hard to follow. Or 2. I think that they're all pretty, like, standard, honestly. I mean, there's weird things about them, and I'd still say that the first game is the most concise. But the best game is... No, it's really not. And besides, I thought your favorite game was Chain of Memories. It is. Which you know, fair enough. My favorite's still 2. Coded is the best. I know, right? It's so good. What with its constant changing of gameplay styles and glitchiness. And I don't know what order to play the games in. Okay. What order to play the game? You know what? Sometimes that is kind of hard. Like, even as a fan, I keep shrinking the body with the perspective. That is actually easier said than done. Good luck. Okay. If you don't care about the story, just play them in whatever order you want, frankly. If you don't care about the story. If you are, at the very least, interested in having more context about the story, by release, I'd say no. No. No, that's like saying you need to watch Star Wars with, you start with episode 4, 5, and 6, then you watch 1, 2, and 3, and then, 7, 8, and 9. No, don't do that. Don't do it by release. The thing is that Kingdom Hearts, the collections and whatnot, have them all relatively well ordered. I can tell you, the first game is Birth by Sleep, then the first one, then Chain of Memories, then 358 Days Over 2, then Kingdom Hearts 2. It's like saying you need to read the Star Wars Legends continuity to understand the sequels. Yeah. Although, internet crapped out, missed half this conversation. God dang it. Okay, TLDR. Milksteak. If you don't care about the story, don't worry about chronology, because a lot of them just play really well. And a lot of the charm comes in, like, seeing just this, like, the Disney and like, Final Fantasy, and later, they add in characters from The World Ends With You in 3D. So if you like The World Ends With You, there are World Ends With You characters in 3D. I actually think 3D is a pretty alright game. I know some people don't because of the sleeping and whatnot, which is fair. I think that's, like, the worst part of the game, but... Jeez, I can't get this right. My favorite is 2. I think 2 is for gameplay, the gameplay, I think, is one of the best ones to play, and, it was one of the first ones I played. I do wish that, with like, Kingdom Hearts 3 and them starting a new, like, storyline, I do hope that things become more concise. They're not going to, but I wish that the story would be a little bit more concise. Because a lot of the complexities with Kingdom Hearts feels like, oh, well, we needed to have a twist. And then that twist doesn't really pay off in a way that feels, like, satisfactory a lot of the time. But, I would recommend Kingdom Hearts, just from, like, gameplay. I think the gameplay is really good. I think the worlds are really charming. I think the games have, like, a lot of effort put into them. And they're all, like, really fun. Or... the mainline ones are really fun. The quote-unquote spin-offs, which really are mainline ones anyway, because they're all narratively important in one way or another, except for Coded. Coded pretends like it's narratively important, but really you can skip it and you'd miss nothing. I think there's some plot thread about Nominee's journal, and that's it. That's it. That's all you're really missing. And that game sucks anyway, so, like... Anyway, does anyone else have anything else to add on to the Kingdom Hearts conversation? Because I don't really. Like, unless you want me to, like, deep dive into the lore. And even then, it's kind of a case of there's only... I probably am going to trip over my words all the time, and I'm not going to make it sound terribly interesting, so... I mean, to be fair, a great deal of it isn't terribly interesting. Jesse McCart... Yeah! Yeah, that's fair. Haley Joel Osment. Christopher Lee. Why does that keep happening? Like, stop doing that! Ah! Leonard Nimoy. Yeah, that's something else. Oh, Dylan Sprouse. But yeah, I don't think I have anything all that interesting left to add to Kingdom Hearts. So, does anyone else have any other games they want to talk about? Why did my pen suddenly get so much bigger? Yeah, the second screen is messing up hard with my tablet. Count Dooku is my favorite Disney... Yes. Yes. That guy from 7th... Wait, which guy from... What? Oh, Dylan Sprouse is in Kingdom Hearts 3 as Yozora. Crudo-kun? What? I don't know what that is. Is that a... I don't want to say it. I was gonna say it, but I don't want to say it. I see. And you know, honestly though, back to Dylan Sprouse, he does a fine job. He does a good job. But Sai, what Krodo-kun? I don't know what that is. Is that whatever? Is that a JoJo reference? There, I said the thing. Googling this. Like, that sounds familiar. It sounds like something I should know. Literally, Cloud and Roma... You could have just said Cloud! You see, I can see it now, Kuraudo. But you could have just said Cloud! And wait, Cloud's voice actor is the guy from, like, that, is he from, he's from 7th Heaven? What? Yes, we have boosted. Why didn't you just say Cloud? But he's the guy from 7th Heaven? Like, I need to look that up. Cause now that I'm saying, something tells me something no, actually, nothing undies happens, I'm afraid, in this issue. I'm afraid. I mean, if you're expecting that, prepare to be very disappointed. Steve Burton. Fantasy, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy. I'm not seeing anything about... Just noticed you were streaming and thought I'd drop by to say hi. Can't stay because data limits. Hope everything is going well. Yes, Damashi, everything's going well. I just found out today that apparently someone from, like, an actor from Seventh Heaven is in Kingdom Hearts, but I don't think it's Cloud, because, like, I looked up Okay, Sai, who does the person from Seventh Heaven play? Because I looked up Cloud and I didn't see anything about Seventh Heaven. Okay. I'm just gonna look up the dude from Seventh Heaven who is in Kingdom Hearts and see what comes up. David Lee Gallagher is what is literally the first thing that came up. Yeah, it's Riku. It's Riku. Okay, that actually. Oh my god. Seventh Heaven was like a drama series from like 96. From like 96. I think it aired on the WB. I've never watched it. Insert character actor here. I think one of the voice actors for Superman voices Sephiroth. Like, I'm gonna look that up. I think it's he also voiced Theodore Rex. George Newbern, who I think is Superman. Let me, George Newbern, Superman. Yeah, he was Superman in Justice League? Yeah, in Justice League, Static Shock. He's basically just not Tim Daly as Superman. I like them both. But I'm sorry, who is in Theodore Rex? Are we still talking about what's his name from Seventh Heaven, or are we talking about George Newbern? George Newbern, was he in Theodore Rex? Huh. Well, I have to say, obviously that's where his career peaked. The guy who voices Nazim in Skyrim also voices one of the main... Yes, and it's kind of obvious. Though, with that said, I don't quite remember who it was, because I actually have not played Persona 5. Literally everyone else in my house has played Persona 5. Except for me. It's something I really need to fix. Especially since I like Persona. I just never got around to playing Persona 5. I like how, Keith Silverstein, who are you in Persona? Yes! Theodore Rex is the movie that contractually murdered and cannibalized Whoopi Goldberg's career. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Like literally? Oh, well, yeah, no, I know that, but I'm pretty sure she was fine after it. I'm not seeing anything for Persona 5 under Keith Silverstein. Even though, yeah, I swear he's in it. Well, let's see, video games. Let me just check again. Oh, it. Oh my God. I have this discussion with my boyfriend all the time. He's Shido. Oh, I'm such an idiot. He's Shido. Oh, also, hi, Shawnee. I didn't even see you come in. I was too busy, looking up facts that I should have already remembered. And, I mean, I guess, but, like, well, okay, when did Sister Act come out? Because she was in that, yeah? Because I gotta be honest, when it comes to Whoopi Goldberg, I mostly know, her from we all got 1992. 1992, and Theodore Rex came out when? What was that, like 95? Really? I thought it was. Okay, you know what? Maybe you're right. Cause like, when I think of Whoopi Goldberg, I think of Sister Act, and I think of Star Trek Next Generation. Oh, 96. Okay, well, that's fine. It's 1 year off. It still stands. I could have sworn that was like 89. Well, then again, I mean, let's be honest. Who remembers Theodore Rex outside of just bringing up, just referencing it during a stream where someone's drawing furry art and we're all laughing at it? I don't even. Everyone repressed. Okay, everyone. Oh my God, it's too. Okay, yeah, but Sai, is it as bad as Pluto Nash? Is it as bad as The Adventures of Pluto Nash? I don't know about that. You know, Is it worse than The Adventures of Pluto? You know what? I'd have to watch them again. I remember hating Pluto Nash way more. I don't know. What does everyone else in the audience think? Never seen but heard. You know what? I'm gonna make a Twitter poll. I'm gonna ask people on Twitter to vote and see which movie is worse. I am proud to say I have seen it. You're not missing anything. You really aren't. No, there's not enough space to write The Adventures of Pluto Nash. And Haru, that's fair, but Theodore Rex still sucks. Like, it's perfectly fine to stand a queen, but Theodore Rex still sucks. I can't wait for everyone on my Twitter who wasn't in the stream, which is probably a lot of them, just be like, what the hell are you talking about? Hey, but can I ask you for... Yes, after the stream. Because I'm a bit busy right now. yelling about Theodore Rex. But yes, you could totally ask for a commission. Absolutely. But after the stream. I just wanted to... It's for a video I'm... Why didn't you just ask me? Why didn't you just ask me? Oh yeah, by the way, Blitzio does YouTube as well. He does voice acting. Hey, Blitzio, would you be able to link your YouTube in the chat, or am I gonna have to do it? Either way, it's getting linked. But it's with Alistair and... Oh no! That's great. That's great. Yeah, totally. We could figure out the deets from there. But yeah, babe, did you want to link your YouTube into the chat so that all these nice people can see your, can hear your amazing voice work? Yeah, there you go. Everyone go watch his stuff, and everyone go subscribe. He's also part of a comic dub for what's the name of the... He's also part of the dub for Castle Swimmer. He plays Siren. And you should all look up the dub for Castle Swimmer as well. Like the official one, because there's like a few unofficial ones. He said it looks better. Did you also want to link Castle Swimmer? I like how this is just becoming a plug. I am plugging my loved ones stream. Oh, crap. Hang on. Made a little boo-boo. Okay, so what are we at now? We are at 1 hour and 43 minutes. Okay. So we're gonna be wrapping up soon. Again, I didn't make a lot of headway, but that's fine. Yeah, there you go. Start from episode 1. And thank you, Hera. We stand a supportive boyfriend. Thank you. I mean, technically this started because he was supporting me. So, I mean, everyone, we all stand Blitz. Pop off in the chat, yo. Or don't, I don't know. I'd be really happy if you did, though. So, how are we all doing? Again, my obligatory how are we all doing question when I've run out of things to talk about. I keep looking back at the chat, I keep just seeing episode 1 and my first thought is the Phantom Menace. Wow, yeah, things got real quiet there. Sorry. I'll try and keep talking. So. How you think that Pluto Nash poll is going?
It's probably, like, nothing, honestly. There's probably no votes. I seem to have lost a follower.
And I don't know if it's because of the poll or not. Don't worry about having to chat. Oh, you say that, but again, if people are just listening, I don't want them to be, like, bored and hear nothing but, like, my fan, you know? I do appreciate the, I do appreciate that, though. It is a little bit comforting to at least know that it's, like, there's at least people out there being like, yeah, no, it's okay. If you don't have anything to say, don't talk. Which sounded a lot meaner. I didn't mean for that to sound as mean as it did. I apologize for that noise. I was just stretching. Yes, I died. That was me dying. I freaking died. No, it's too late. I'm going to the great beyond. He didn't go oof. He's ooh. Okay. Funny thing about that oof clip. I don't know how many of y'all know this. Actually, I mean I don't know, but that oof clip is not from Roblox. It's in Roblox, but it's not from it. It's stolen. What's the name of the game that it comes from? Hang on. Oof. Sound. Origin. It came from a game called Messiah. Yeah, sorry. It's from a game called Messiah that came out in like 2000. I have no idea what that game is about, but I just think that that's really fascinating. That like this sound effect that we all associate with Roblox, with this meme game. Because let's be real, it's a meme game. A lot of people play it because it's a meme. I mean, plenty of people play it because they legitimately enjoy it, but people play it because it's a meme. Is not from what we think it is. And in a way, isn't that kind of like the perfect meme? Like, because that's what a meme is, right? It's an idea that gets passed around and transforms over time. And I just think that that's really cool. And interesting. I mean, it's unfortunate that I think it was stolen. As far as I know, they never got permission. I mean, it's no big deal. It's just like an oh, but I thought that was interesting. I find really mundane things interesting. Honestly. I have no idea what's going on here. I like how I went off on that big tangent just because someone made a joke about Roblox. That should really tell you that I'm running out of things to talk about. So, okay, here's my question, though, to anyone. Have any of you in the chat played Roblox? And if so, what the heck is it? Because, like, I've never played it. I knew of it when it first came out, but I never played it because I didn't play games online. And by the time it started getting popular again, it wasn't. Once I had a guy in a D&D group who said his main roleplay experience came from erotic RP and a Roblox anime. Interesting. I mean, that's fair. I can't judge too hard. I'm more... Is that a thing that happens a lot in Roblox? Is there a lot of erotic role... Never played Roblox personally. But is erotic roleplay something that happens a lot in Roblox? Because, like, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. Well, okay, it's not the first time. But it's definitely, like, the first time hearing about it in a way that's not, like, in, like, curated YouTube content. Where somebody's like, something Roblox porn, haha, you know? I just remember a question on an Amazon listing for a high-end gaming laptop. Can it download Roblox? Yeah. It can download Roblox. I think most things can download Roblox. And frankly, if your gaming PC can't run it, because from what I understand, it's pretty easy to run. Or is it like an online game that you play on browser? You know, I'm going to look that up. I'm just going to real quickly look that up. It brought me to the store. Okay, so there's really no way for me to know for sure, because I would have to make an account. And I'm not doing that, so I'm just gonna assume it can be played either or. I don't know. Again, I know so little about Roblox outside of that oof noise and the fact that apparently it's cringy or something. I don't know. Oh, that, and there's someone I follow on Twitter, and they do game dev, and on their spare time they make stuff in Roblox. They make like cars and whatnot in Roblox and like racing simulations in Roblox, and it's really impressive. It's like, whoa, I didn't know you could do that sort of thing in Roblox. It's kind of why I'm a bit confused of what it is, because I thought it was like Minecraft before Minecraft or something, but I guess it's like a game dev tool, but it's also like an adventure roleplay, but it's also like a chat room. I don't understand. I just know that it exists and kids like it, and hey, all the more power to them. Like what you like. There's plenty of stuff I like that could probably be considered like cringe. But if I'm being honest, I've always found cringe, like, okay, I say always, but like obviously when I'm like an edgy high schooler, haha, I don't think cringe culture was really a thing back then, but it was definitely like an, ugh, how could you play this? It's so overrated and things like that. But and I was one of those kinds of people, unfortunately. I'm better about it now, in general. Like, I'm better about it now. But I guess now I've always found the idea of like cringe culture and like mocking people because they enjoy a thing to be really confusing. Like I'll make jokes about like things I don't like. Like I'm not particularly like say into Fate, like Fate Stay Night or Fate Grand Order or any of those, and I'll like joke about it, but I'll never judge someone for liking it. Even though I do know that it does have quite a few detractors these days because there's so many different versions of Fate. Like, how many versions of Fate are there now? You know what? Never mind. Don't answer that, anyone, because I have a feeling that even if you're confident you're right, you probably missed one because there's a lot. Also, getting back to Sai's statement about the Amazon listing being, can it download Roblox? That needs to be the new question for how powerful your gaming PC is. To hell with, can it run Crysis? No, it needs to be, can it run Roblox? Can it download Roblox? I don't think I've ever said Roblox this many times before in my life. It's funny how things turn out. I was planning on mostly talking about the comic. But and yet here we are, we're talking about Roblox and gaming PCs. And I spent like, how long was it that I spent looking for whoever it was in 7th Heaven to plead Riku? Because like I spent a good time on that. And then we just started debating about Pluto. Now it's not even debating, I just kept saying that I wasn't sure if I thought that it was really worse. But I felt like it was worse. David Gallagher, yeah, that. I like how I sketched out the whole thing, but a significant chunk of these poses are going to be covered up by darkness. Rounding back to Kingdom Hearts, it's darkness. Darkness, 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 darkness. Okay, you can go away now, Mr. Model-y thing. Submit! Submit to the darkness! Alright, so we're at the end. I want to thank, like, y'all for... Hey, let me just get rid of Max here. And this is the progress we made. Not a ton, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. So I want to thank you all for coming down. I really appreciate you guys just sitting here and hanging out with me and chilling and just being awesome. You know, because you guys are all awesome. For sitting here and listening to me ramble about Kingdom Hearts and anyway, I was gonna say something, but anyway, thanks. I just got a message and it distracted me. Hey, so thanks a lot for coming in and listening. I really I just appreciate you guys hanging out, you know? It means a lot. Not too much else to say, I guess. Here, I'm just gonna link something super quick. Just my coffee. If you feel like throwing me a coffee, I'd really appreciate it. But you don't gotta if you don't wanna. Thanks for hanging out, and I think that'll be it for now. See y'all later. Bye-bye.